great designers, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, you're welcome to Purple Fashion In, where we make easy and simple tutorials. Yes, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, I'll advise you do so by clicking on the subscribe button. Also, help and like and share our videos. Yes, thanks for sticking to us. Yes, today we'll be making this beautiful style, and I'll be making use of these two fabrics. I'll be using a pattern African print and a plain fabric here, so you can decide to make use of any choice of your fabric. Yes, first things first, you need to draft your basic bodies. I'll be advising that you make use of a pattern paper. You need to draft on your paper first, then transfer to your fabric for easy and perfect results. Yes, on the table I have drafted out my basic bodies for a short dress. Yes, I'll be making mine a full length, a long dress, but I want to draft it with a short into a short dress. Then I'll transfer it to get the full length. Okay, so I've on the table here I have the basic bodies. Like I said earlier, I have my shoulder line, I have it slanted already. I have my bust line, this is my bust line. I have my waistline, I have my hip line, and of course the full length. Okay, so you come to the shoulder line. Remember, when you are drafting the basic bodies for your shoulder line, you'll be measuring your exact shoulder measurement, or your back. Some call it back. So mine is 16 inches divided by 2. That gives me 8 inches. So remember, you are not adding anything to it for now. You won't add any inches, okay, to it. So you make it the exact measurement. Then also the bust measurement, your hip measurement, and the waist measurement, you'd add like 2 inches or 2.5 inches, depending on how free you want it. For the sake of this tutorial, there won't be a zipper at the back, so I'll be making it a little bit free. It will be a little bit free. So I added 2.5 inches. I added 1.5 inches for ease, that is to be very comfortable and easy to wear. Then 1 inch for the seam allowance. So you come to your shoulder line. Yes, come to the shoulder line. Then from the neck line, that is from here. Remember, this is the shoulder line. Then from the arm of the sleeve, that's the armhole, you measure out 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches from here. Then you mark it. Okay. Having done that, you come to your bust line. Your bust line. This is the bust line. Then you measure your nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 7.5. Mine is 7.5. So I said 7.5. Pardon me. Mine is 7 inches. So when you divide it by 2, you have 3.5. So this is my 3.5 here. So I'll add half inches here to it. So I'll connect it. Yeah, I'll be making use of my French cord. Okay, so this is it. I'm connecting it from here to here. Okay, thereafter I'll come to my hip line. On the hip line, you consider the difference between your waistline and your hip line. So what I have here is 10 inches from my waistline to my hip line. So I'll be dividing what I have here by 3. So what I have here is 10 inches. If I divide it by 3, I'll have 3.33. So I'll approximate it to 3.5. Okay, so from the waistline, this is 3.5. Okay, then note this. This is where the sleeve, you can see, this is where the sleeves will be connected to. Don't worry, when we get to the end product, just ensure you watch it to the end. You will understand better where we're going to. Okay, so if you take a very good look at the dress, the style, you notice that from the shoulder line to this point was where the sleeves were attached to. If you look at it very, very well, the sleeves was joined from this place. Yes, remember we came in by 1.5 inches. So from here to here, and the sleeves was extended outward. So it all depends on how long you want your sleeves to be. So for the sake of this tutorial, I want 18 inches for my sleeves, 18 inches. So for my shoulder, the original shoulder measurement, I would measure out 18 inches. Let me pull it out so you can see it clearly. Okay, I want us to see the 18 inches. Yes, so remember, from this point, not from the deducted 1.5 inches, no, not from the deducted shoulder slant, it is from this point, from here, the original shoulder line. So I would measure out 18 inches from there, and this is my 18 inches. I'll give it a mark there. Then remember the slant that we have, so I'll connect this to this point that we have here now. I need to be careful. I want to ensure you see what I'm working on. Okay, yeah, to this point. This is my sleeve length for this style. So I'll be connecting it to my shoulder slant. Okay, so feel free to make your own choice. If you want it too big, too bogus, just follow your mind. The main thing is to have a good result at the end of it all. Then remember the hip line that we worked on. That is the difference between the waistline and the hip line. I divided into 3. Okay, and I picked one part of it. Yes, then I'll be connecting it to the sleeve length. But before I do that, you need to take into consideration your sleeve length and also your round sleeve. It all depends on where you want it to get to. For the sake of this tutorial, I want it to get to around my 3/4 of my elbow, 3/4 of my elbow. So that falls around 18 inches. So you also measure out just like this. You take into consideration the measurement of your round sleeve for this point where you want it to end. So mine is 11 inches. 11 inches. So from this from this point now, remember the slant that we have here. The point that we have here, this is it here. I'll measure out my round sleeve. If you want it to be, just follow your mind. You understand? Be creative with whatever you want it to be. So mine is 11 inches. This is 11 inches. I want it a bit wide, so I'll add like 1 inch to it for the same allowance. Okay, so I will be connecting this point. Can we see it? Remember the round sleeve measurement, and I'll connect it to this point. Okay, so you can decide to give it any shape that you want. Just feel free to make be creative and make your own choice. So this is my own connection. This is it here. Okay, you see I've connected it, and this is my round sleeve here. This is my round sleeve. Remember to add like 1 inch. Yes, 1 inch for your seam allowance. But if you also want to join something to maybe another fabric to create your own design, you can do that. So we are almost done with our tutorial. Then we'll come back here. Remember the nipple to nipple measurements we pointed out here. Then so you come to this point, the hip line that was divided into 3. Can you remember the hip line? And do a connection from your nipple to nipple point to the hip line, just like I have it here. So you can decide to give it any shape that you want. Be creative. Be creative. Fashion is all about creativity. So you can decide to make use of your free hand, or you make use of your curve. Okay, so I'll be making use of my curve, and I'll smoothen it up with my my free hand. So I've gotten the curve that I want here. So I might need to do something like this, because if I connect it like this, it's going to give me a sharp edge, and I don't want a sharp edge because I want it a little bit curvy. So that's why I'm trying to use my free hand to connect it this way. Can we see what it looks like? Just take a look at the overview. Can you see? Can you see that we've gotten our sleeves in a way? Can you see what the sleeves look like already? Yes, we've gotten our sleeves. Yes, this is a design this is the pattern that we want to work on. So remember, if you are cutting out, please take note. Don't forget to add your half inch, that is for the seam allowance. Don't let it be more than half. When it's more than half, it is too big. So don't forget to add half inch to connect, that is to your half inch for the seam allowance, in joining it to, remember, this will be for this design. I want it to have this will be the plain the sleeves, then this will be the main bodies. I'm very sure you can't wait for you can't wait to see the finishing of this beautiful style. So ensure you don't check out. Stay tuned and let's have it all done together. Okay, so I'll be cutting it out now. Cutting the pattern out. Remember, then for the neckline, you can decide to give it any design. It could be a canoe neck, it could be a boat neck, it could be a U neck, a V neck, any neck of your choice. Okay, so let us transfer this into our fabric now. Okay, so because I want to manage my fabric, I don't want to waste it, so I decided to cut the front bodies first. Yes, I can actually cut both the front and the back together, but I don't want to waste my fabric. If I do that, I'll be wasting a lot of fabric. So as you can see, all of this place is still going to be useful. So I decided to cut it one after the other. So I've placed my pattern on it. Remember, this is the center, that's the main bodies. I've placed it on it. Then also I've extended my sleeves, the full length rather. I've extended it to the required length that I want. Can you see? Because it's going to be of 60 inches. So I've extended it downwards. Then also I secured it with pins. You've been working with lots of pins, so it won't be giving you issues while working. So I'll go ahead right now and cut it out. Okay. Then don't forget to add your seam allowance. Yes, like I said, that is very, very important. Okay, so you can go ahead and firstly mark half inch. Go ahead and mark half inch all round this way for this joining of the attachment of the sleeves. Okay, so go ahead and mark half inches round, so before you cut it out. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do here. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay. Yes, I've cut it out, so I'll place it on the fabric again, the remaining fabric, to cut out the back bodies also. Okay, so I've placed the cutout sleeves also on the plain fabric that I want to make use of. So I'm going to cut it out. Do not forget to add your ½ inch seam allowance at the edges. Yes, don't forget to do that. Okay. Yes, I've cut it out. Remember, this represents a sleeve. It's in two, so you need to cut another 2 pieces of it. Yes. So dear soulmates, we have come to the end of this tutorial. As you can see, I took snaps of shots of this dress. If you find this video helpful, please kindly like and help subscribe to my channel. Thank